When we share
what we see through
each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations
and the reality
of blind abilities.
and the realities of blind abilities.
Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson, and today in the studio we have Director of Customer Communications, Jenine Stanley from Aira. Jenine, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jeff.
There's some big, great news coming out of Aira, some changes coming up and some more options for people.
Yeah, absolutely. As of Monday, December 5th, we're going to have a few changes. We've made a few already, and we have a couple adjustments. And we wanted to make sure that the Blind Abilities audience knew about them and kind of knew where we were when we made these choices and how we got to this point. And how we got to this point is unfortunately the thing that is happening to every business around the world, and it's adjusting to the economy and adjusting to, some of the things that have gone on in the world over the past 2.5 years since we reorganized and revitalized Aira. We've got a couple things. Let me just jump right in here.
There you go. Let's tell the world.
Yeah, so the first thing that we did back in November the 19th, I believe, we adjusted our Job Seeker promo. And Job Seeker is one of the things that Aira contributes directly to. So we fund that directly. We have this big bucket of Aira minutes that we use for things that we as a company fund because we think they're important. And Job Seeker is really important. And I was surprised to see how many people, there have been 3,000 people since we incorporated Job Seeker back in, I want to say it's 2019. I think, somewhere in there. But over 3,000 people have used the promo. Literally hundreds of people have gotten jobs because of the promo. We love this. We want to continue this, but we couldn't sustain the 30-minute unlimited calls with Job Seeker. So we have restricted that promo for the meantime to one 30-minute call per day. We're also actively looking for a company, corporation to fund this promo. We've contacted places like Indeed, LinkedIn, a bunch of other companies that we've contacted to say, look how important this is. Look at the success stories. Can you consider funding this promo so that we can give people more time? And so that's one of the first changes. Now, the changes that will go into effect on December 5th affect our free calls and our free 5-minute calls. And Jeff, I'm sure you remember back when we did the every call, first 5 minutes were free. Mm-hmm. And that was huge. And we looked at it because we were trying to increase the number of people using Aira at that time for our venture capital people. And that was just not sustainable. So we stopped that in August of 2020. But we realized that people were used to that 5 free minutes. And we didn't want to just rip the blanket out from under everybody. So we allowed our guests, those who are not paying for a subscription, we allowed them one free call every 24 hours. And our paid folks got one free call every 4 hours. Great. Well, as we looked at where we are, where we want to be through 2024, we realized we could not sustain that level of free service. And we wanted to redirect that money into some other investments for the users and for the agents and for the company in general. And so we have changed it as of Monday to, for our guests, they will get one free call every 48 hours. And so I don't want to say every 2 days because it's literally every 48 hours. And our paid folks, our paid subscribers, will get one free call every 12 hours. This is a little bit different. And if you're sitting out there thinking, okay, that's great, Jenine, how am I going to know when I get a free call? I can't keep track of 48 hours. You can go to the usage tab in the app, and on iOS, that's down at the bottom of the screen. It's going to be, I believe, the second tab as you go across the bottom of the screen. So you're going to go into usage, and you'll see it's right up toward the top of the screen how many minutes you have till your next free call. Minutes, hours, etc., till your next free call. And so that's how you can keep track of it. And the Android app, I believe it is under the navigation drawer. And I believe if you are using the desktop beta, we now have a new usage tab in there. And I think you can see it in there too, but that may not be included just yet. But there is a usage tab in the desktop app. That's the big news about free, Jeff. It's going to be a little bit of a change for folks, I think, especially if you're used to using that one free call, every day.
Mm-hmm. I'm on the introductory plan, and most of my calls fall under that 5 minutes, but when I go over, I don't have to worry about it because, I got something that I want to tackle and stuff. And I just have to say, when I'm using Aira, I'm usually busy and I can use it and then shut it down and continue on. That's what I really, it's not like, I got to call someone or I got to find some help here or I got to look something up or I got to find some other accessibility way of addressing this. I'll switch my browser. I'll switch this. No, I just do it and I'm done with it. That hurdle is gone and I'm continuing on with my work schedule, my flow and everything like that. I don't lose any time. I actually gain time.
And I love how I think it was you that put it this way, I could take 45 minutes to do something or I could take like 2 minutes. With the right information.
That's exactly right. And that's what I use Aira for. And that's why I have the service and use it when I need it. I'm not saying I use it every day, but when I need it, it's there. That's why I want it there. Right in my phone, I'm ready to go. And I don't have to call my sister as much or anything else. Can you look at? Yeah, that's nice.
There are alternatives to Aira, and honestly, we're glad there are because we know that we can't meet the need for everybody. And when you just need somebody to quickly look at something, if you truly can't afford a plan, there are some alternatives out there for you. Now, the one good thing is that if you have a plan, any of our plans, right now, and I'll go into our legacy plans in a minute, but any of our retail plans, you can keep that plan if you remain on it through January 16th, 2023. You can keep that plan till December 31st of 2023. So you can stay on board at those prices, and you're going to see our prices are going up. We wish we didn't have to say that, but they are going to go up in January 17th, and we'll have all those prices to everybody the first week in January. So you will get access to those the first week in January. No, we do not have them at the time of this recording. We're still finalizing some details of the pricing, but that will be out first week in January, and you can look at those new plans. But really the wisest thing, get a plan now. Get a plan now, and you can stick with it for an entire year. And if you are on one of our community plans, so we have 2 categories of plans right now. Well, actually 3. We have our retail plans, which are the intro, the standard, and the advanced plans. Then we have our community plans, and those are the ones that come from your membership in things like ACB, NFB, in Canada, the Canadian Council of the Blind, and the Alliance for the Equality of Blind Canadians, and RNIB in the UK. If you're on any of those plans, you can keep those as well. We had a recent error in a letter that we sent out saying, oh gosh, those plans are going to be canceled along with our legacy plans, and that's not going to happen. You get to keep those too. So if you received that letter and you didn't receive the follow-up letter, it ended up in your spam folder, whatever, no worries. You can keep those plans through 2020.
Jenine, if you would have had an Aira agent proofread that before you sent it out.
I'm going to tell my coworker that. See, you just need an agent to proof that. It was one of those mail merge things, and wait, not the oops.
There it went. Yeah.
So yeah,
no strings. See, once you mail it out, they're gone.
There you go. It's gone. Then we have our legacy plans, and these plans have been around, some of them since the beginning of Aira, but we have a lot of them. We're trying to clear up the chaos, oh my gosh, do I have 400 minutes a month for X amount, or 100 minutes a month, or all different sizes up to our quote-unquote unlimited plans. Those are all going to go away as of January 17th, 2023. So they're all gone. People who have those plans got a letter on Monday, an email stating, hey, you have this plan. You may want to think about either switching to one of our retail plans, getting a community plan, or you can wait to see what our new pricing is to see if that'll better meet your needs. And for some people, it might. If they're heavy users, they might want a different kind of plan than what we offer now. That's going to happen as well. These are not fun. Nobody likes change, let's face it. I joked that I was going to put up a picture of a cat because cats hate change. You change one thing in the house and the cats go crazy. These are some changes. They're not going to be easy for people initially, but we're trying as hard as we can to make Aira available for as many people as we can.
Well, that's why when I open it up, I said there's some great opportunities coming, which may sound like, it may sound like bad news, but I think it's a great opportunity because there's could be, as you mentioned, could be more opportunities for people to buy different packages that work better for them. Like they might be, this isn't enough or this is too much. And, at the month rolls over, they won't be able to keep their minutes. So there might be something that fits right in that pocket for them.
Exactly.
That's great.
Exactly. And when we looked at, okay, we're going to reprice things. Well, you know what? Now's the time to look at all the things that don't work currently. And now we have 3 levels of retail plans, and they're pretty far apart. There's a lot of distance between those. So look for more plans in number and more granularity, I guess, within those plans. So you can pick a plan where you're not going to have a bunch of minutes left over at the end of the month, or you're not going to have to be buying minutes every month to supplement what you need. We also are looking at sharing because people want to be able to share their plans to help defray the cost a little bit. And so we're looking at having that extend through all of the plans. Right now, you can't do that on the intro plan. And so we're looking at changing that for the new plans and going forward, and probably a few other features that'll be coming along as we develop this. And everything might not be available on January 17th. It may be coming throughout the year. So stay tuned.
Jenine, I know some people who have reasonable accommodations for Aira, whether they're working at a corporation or at a state agency, government job. Is Aira currently working with state agencies or vocational rehabs?
They do, and we want to make sure that many more states understand that they can do it on a statewide level for all of their clients at once rather than these kind of individual deals. And we have several states right now, but Connecticut is involved in a pilot project using some funds from their Department of Transportation that covers transportation around the state, but it also covers essential services, quote unquote, as defined by FEMA and some other federal agencies having to do with the pandemic. And I'll tell you what, just about everything you would ever use Aira for is covered under that. We also have Alabama, which if you are in Alabama, you can get Aira. I don't know the exact details, but all you need to do is sign up through the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind, and you will be able to get Aira funded by the state of Alabama, which is pretty amazing. Texas Workforce Commission is another one. If you've got a vocational goal, you're looking for a job, work with your counselor, and they can fund Aira also. We're looking at a couple other big states to fund Aira, but the way to really get this done is to push through your organizations, through the State Rehab Consumer Advisory Committee to say, hey, look, this is something you can fund. Here are the examples of other states that are doing it. So that's going to be a push in the coming year for us to look at those state rehab organizations as a way for people, because you look at Australia, they have their NDIS, National Disability Insurance Scheme, and they fund Aira through that. And wouldn't that be great?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'd be really advantageous for state agencies across the nation to, when they bring in like the Pre-ETS, to give them an opportunity to use Aira, not as something to not learn Braille, not learn any other skills or anything, but like I was talking about before, for that sudden, I'm stuck, I'm unstuck, let's go. Yep. It's efficiency, I think, is more of the way, and the confidence that you can get through these hurdles and these barricades and brick walls that sometimes technology gives us. Aira can lend some trained eyes and get you through it.
Exactly.
I don't think it's enabling like some people thought at first when this new technology came out. I think it is just that little, like that helping hand, that little nudge that gets you through something when it's stuck.
And we've noticed over the years, Aira will have been around serving customers, I think, since 2016. So we're fast approaching our, 7th anniversary of doing that. But we've been around since 2015. But what we've noticed is that people start out maybe using Aira a lot, especially for navigation. And then they get the confidence, and it's like, oh, okay, you know what? I don't need the agent to tell me every little thing and be with me for the entire trip. I just need them for maybe that last bit across the parking lot or whatever. And we find people, or like you said, okay, I just need this one little bit of information. I'm going to call up and get that, and I've got the rest. It is a pattern. I don't think people have become really dependent on it, as in, oh gosh, I use it like a sighted assistant and they have to be there all the time. That hasn't happened, amazingly.
I think the one pitfall that I found with Aira is the agents are so nice sometimes. You're talking to them and it feels like you almost feel like you already know them and you want to carry on a conversation, but you got work to do and stuff like that. So
Exactly.
it's really neat. You never met that person, but all of a sudden you're both on the same page and you're just talking. And maybe it's because a lot of us are working from home or something else and you're talking to someone, but they're able to help you get through it and everything like that. So I like the agents.
Well, the big thing is, they already get the whole blindness thing. So you don't have to explain to them, well, I really can't see, so you're going to have to give me direction. And also there's no judgment there. They're just here like, okay, you want to do this? Okay, fine. Great. I'll give you what information you need. Let's do it. And that's pretty, to me, in the blindness world, that's pretty unusual that you can just find that kind of assistance somewhere. And you find it on other services too. Occasionally you'll get like an O&M instructor or a rehab teacher or somebody who really does get it, who might be volunteering for that service, but it's kind of a crapshoot. And with us, we build that into the training.
Well, it's not like you're asking an Uber driver for information or anything like that. They want to know everything like, is that your friend over there? He has a cane. Just because someone else has a cane doesn't mean you know them or they're not your family or anything like that. That's why it works so well, because they're ready, they're trained, they're ready to do the job. You said January 16th, people have to decide.
You will need to decide, and we'll have a ton of information out between now and then as to what your choices are going to be, especially starting that first week in January, what the new plans will be. And I can tell you they're going to be priced higher than what you're seeing now. And part of the reason for that, of course, is the economy. Of course, is that we want to pay our agents. We want to be able to pay them. Sometimes I think nobody can afford what they're worth because, but we want to at least be able to pay them a reasonable salary. We want to be able to keep the business going and keep the rest of us who work for Aira going. And in order to do that, we're going to have to raise prices. However, we're continuing to really, really work hard on getting more partners as retail. Our two big targets are too big, pun intended, because we've already got Target. They're fantastic. But the two other mainstream businesses that we would really love to get service from, of course, are Walmart. That's the number one that everybody asks for, and Amazon.com. So those are out there. They're on our radar, but so are a lot of employers. And once they get the business as an employer, that's how we got Target. Their employees were using it. They saw how beneficial it was, and they extended it to their retail operation. These are all the things that we're working on. We're going to be doing a lot of things with state rehab folks over the next year, so you'll see us at conferences and things like that. We hope that if you're in that profession, if you're a rehab counselor, if you're an administrator, come by and see us and talk to us, because we would love to show you how other folks are doing what you maybe want to do in providing the service.
Now, for everyone who's on the retail plans, whether it's the introductory, the standard, or the advanced, if they're paying right now, they can continue that until, you said, all through 23.
Yep. All through 23. Yep. And then we will end those plans at the end of 2023, and you'll move on to our 2024 plans, which will most likely be some version of what we're going to roll out in January. We're really planning for 2024 with these price increases, and we apologize. Believe me, we hate to have to do it, but it's one of those we have to. And I joke that I wish my streaming providers that I couldn't believe how many streaming services I have. Way too many. When they all went up in price, I really had to do okay, which one of these haven't I watched in ages? Which one of these can I get rid of? So it's going to be, it's a little bit of a tough time. Everything is going up in price, but, hopefully you will find the value in Aira, and hopefully as we go forward, there will be a path for you to actually get the service and use it free. And by the way, Jeff, anybody, our guests, our paid subscribers, anybody can use our access offers. So even if you drop your plan January, okay, I just cannot afford this anymore, I'm going to be a guest, you can still use the Vespero offer if your JAWS isn't working. You can still go to an airport. You can still go to Starbucks or Target or any of the other retail partners, all the museums that we have. You can still use those offers. So those definitely are out there still for people.
I really want to thank Aira team for what you've all been doing to help make this a viable option for us to use and, sustainability for it to be there tomorrow. That's what we all want. So if these prices is needed to be done, then that's what's needed to be done. But I still love the service. I still use it. I can't even put a price on what it is to get through that little brick wall that I come across once in a while, and I'm using probably less than 5 minutes at those minutes, but they're worth it. They're worth an hour.
I was going to say, if they're valuable to you, that's what matters.
Well, Jenine, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sorry Troy couldn't make it, and like we said, if he would have used an Aira agent, probably would have helped him figure out how to use Zoom, right?
That's what we're here for. Actually, he is probably in one of those dreaded pricing meetings right now as we speak. Jeff, if people want more information, if they're a little confused by all of this, our customer care team is available. We're on 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. And their number in the U.S. and North America actually is 1-800-835-1934 or support@aira.io. And if you are in another country, UK, Australia, New Zealand, the contact numbers are on our website. There's a link up at the top of the page that says contact us. And the specific numbers for those countries are.
And great job on the app. I like the accessibility, and I like all the information I can get from there. And on the website, it went up and read up about all the latest news stuff, and you can get on there, get your email in there, and they can receive the newsletter and stay up to date with all these changes that are coming on.
Absolutely. And probably the first quarter of 2023, we hope it'll be in the first quarter, we're going to be debuting our completely redesigned mobile app. And also you can play with the beta desktop app too. It's out there. It's ready for you to test drive and see what you can do with it.
And tell Troy, thanks for fighting for all of us to keep these prices reasonable and for making this a service that we all can use.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thanks, Jenine. For more podcasts with the blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities, and download the free Blind Abilities app from the App Store and Google Play Store. That's 2 words, Blind Abilities. And if you want to leave some feedback, give us some suggestions, give us a call at 612-367-6093. We'd love to hear from you. I want to thank you for listening, and until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see through
each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations
and the reality
of blind abilities.
and the realities of blind abilities.
abilities.